All right, I went to look at houses, and I saw this one house for sale, and it looked all right on the outside, looked okay on the inside, and there's some work that needs to be done and whatnot. And then I come out to the backyard. It's rather small, but I find this. There was as soon as I walked into the backyard, as soon as I stepped into the backyard, there's just this overwhelming smell of shit, and it's chicken shit. And this is in the suburbs. We're not out in the country. You're in a neighborhood where the houses are pretty much close together, and it smells like shit. And no telling, what kind of animals it attracts, bugs, whatever. It just smells like shit. And you would think with all the chicken shit, the grass would be really fertilized well, right? And you want to have chickens. Yeah, that's all cool in the gang, but you have to consider where you live. Now, this notion of you get to do whatever the hell you want, it has limitations. You have to consider your neighbors, especially when you're living in the suburbs where the houses are, pretty close to one another. I mean, I can imagine this guy that lives behind him is probably like, ugh, it smells like chicken shit every time he steps in his backyard. Who wants to smell that? I mean, it was strong. And then not only does he have chickens, but he's got ducks. What the hell? Now, I think in this country you're allowed to have farm animals to a certain degree, but why? Why do you have chickens and ducks in your backyard? I just, I mean, they're cool little animals or whatever, but you don't live out in the country. You live in the city and in the suburbs. And what the fuck? The smell is just atrocious. And wow. His other neighbor to that side is probably like, what the fuck? Because it smells like shit. Chicken shit. And they had a I don't know, man. Some people, they just don't care. They're inconsiderate. It's like people with dogs, right? Dogs are pretty common, and everybody has dogs. But you can't let your dog bark incessantly, And if you have a friendly dog, like my dog's friendly. Like if you approach my dog's gonna wag its tail and kind of bow down to you and want you to pet him and all that. That's a friendly dog. But some people, they're insecure and they got to have a dog be aggressive to speak on their behalf because they're fucking insecure, like these fucking people who have pit bulls. They're the reason why, to me, when I see a guy with a pit bull, it says to me, he's a pussy or he's a drug dealer. It's one of the two, And especially, pit bulls are like, any dog. They're great animals as long as you train them properly. Pit bulls can be a really good dog if you train them properly. The problem is they're harder to train or require a higher level, a higher degree of training than other dogs. And most people cannot handle a pit bull. They can't handle training it. They think they can. They just, oh, I got a pit bull, I'm going to... No. They require a lot of exercise, and, they were bred for fighting. What do you expect? And they require a lot of exercise, a lot of stimulation, a lot of training, a lot of socialization. Otherwise, they will just inherently attack another dog. They will attack. So they require a lot of training that most people think they can do, but they can't. I find it amazing that a lot of people who own pit bulls or aggressive breed dogs are like, well, it's never done that before, or they think because it's friendly to them that it's a friendly dog. It's like, no, dipshit. It's friendly to you because you're the dog's master. You're the one who feeds him. Okay, that doesn't mean that it's friendly to everybody. Okay, if when you're walking your dog and your dog gets real alert and aggressive and growls or whatever, yeah, that should be a sign for you to train and train and train. Okay, but back to this. What the fuck? They had a cool cat, but it was fat. They had a fat cat. It's a fat cat. It was cool, but man, that's not healthy for a cat. Fat boy. It may be cute or whatever, but it's just not healthy for the cat. Cat was cool. But back to the chickens. What the hell, man? If you live in the city, you want to. It's a weird argument, I guess you can say. Especially with everything that has gone in, during the whole pandemic and the high rise of food and eggs and milk prices went through the roof and. Yeah, you're like, hey, I'm gonna get some free eggs. Yeah, it's not totally free because you had to buy the chickens. You got to buy the chicken feed and all that. It's not free, but yeah, it's a way reduced cost. Yeah, I get it. You want some eggs, but come on, man. Is it completely worth having all of this just so you can get some cheap eggs? Annoying your neighbors and having this constant smell of chicken shit everywhere? And the ducks, the ducks lay eggs, right? Do they eat the duck eggs? What do they do with the ducks? You got to think, man, and you got to, in today's world, just people are narcissists, man. It's like they give up because there's so many scummy people on this earth, and it's like everybody. Whether the laws or any kind of situation that you're in, it's always like they want to side towards the scum buckets, and then they want to sit there and give them a pity party and feel sorry for them. And in certain instances, yeah, there are people that are legitimately in a down position and they lack the opportunities and so on and so forth, or they come from an abusive family, and there's multiple situations, but. Come on. You can't give up, and you can't sit there and do shit like this. I can just imagine how annoying it is to these neighbors who have to smell chicken shit all the time. Luckily, this time around so far, my neighbors are normal. I'd have to say that somewhat normal. No issues yet. Just just a lot of people casing my house. Just fucking weird. And I just found out that one of my neighbors who really doesn't live there, he knows them. So some of the people that are casing my house, they could be people who know him, and they're just keeping an eye out for him or something, or maybe trying to spy on me and find out who the fuck I am or whatever. It's just weird, man. My other neighbor, though, when I saw him outside, once again, I introduced myself to them. Yeah, whatever. These are where I lived, where I moved into from my other house. I may post a whole bunch of videos about the situation that I had to endure at my other house, but yeah, chickens in the city, in the suburbs, man, just don't do it, man. Don't do it. The smell was just horrific.